How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, in this video, I'm going to be talking all about how I'm incorporating resistance training into my ultra marathon prep. So even despite logging even more miles than I have done for my marathon prep, I'm still keeping up a consistent weight training regimen, and even I would say more so for the ultra marathon than I have done for the marathon is continuing this training split. The reason for that is I do believe that when you are running, especially running in trails, running up mountains, running down mountains, especially running down, we need to make sure our body is sturdy, strong, and resilient for these crazy mileage. I think, when it comes to running 50 plus miles, it's never typically the aerobic system that fails you. You're running slow enough and walking a lot of it. So aerobically, your system's not gonna crap out on you. What will give out on you first is your legs. The muscles, the joints, the tendons, they're gonna give out on you first before anything else. And even with doing weight training on top of all the running I'm doing, it's still gonna hurt. It's still gonna be brutal. But by doing this, it's gonna allow me to have that durability out on the trails. So you just saw me do a set of squats. I don't go any heavier than just about this, 225 anymore. I'm doing more volume. And again, my goal isn't to maximize my squat. If that was my goal, I wouldn't be doing ultra marathon running. But I am maintaining as much strength as I possibly can safely, while also not trying to tax my legs so much that it's going to hinder my running performance. So a good rule of thumb that I found is that you really got to listen to your body. At the end of the day, if you're pushing yourself and saying like, I got to maintain the same level of resistance training that I have been doing prior to getting into running, you're gonna have to be really careful. The one thing I think about with progression in any aspect of fitness is it has to be periodized, which is just a fancy word for every week builds upon the last. And it needs to have the perspective of the big picture. So often now with the fitness industry, we have these like short-term goals. Like I wanna get it done in 3 months. I wanna get it done in 6 months. But especially when we're tackling stuff like an ultra marathon, we're losing the 30 pounds the doctor told us to. We're running our first marathon. When we put these big goals out in front of us, we have to allow ourselves to get there safely and sustainably. So theoretically, I could be lifting the same amount I did lift in the past when I was playing football in college, or when I was training for more powerlifting, bodybuilding-esque, volume with resistance training. But since I'm now training for an ultra marathon and I'm spending 6+ hours running, and that's going to climb to getting closer to 10 hours a week on the road and in the trails, I can't sustainably maintain the same level of resistance training I was doing at that time while on top of this. It is possible over time. I know individuals who do that, but for me right now with my journey where I'm at with endurance running, if I were to try to do both at the same time at that volume, I would just lead to injuries and it would just be not sustainable for me for the long term. So when it comes to resistance training with ultra marathon running, what I'm doing is focusing on managing my expectations of what I'm capable of right now. Yes, I'm getting weaker in my squat. That's okay, because again, that's not my goal. I'm not gonna be squatting as much as I used to, and that's okay. It's not the goal. The main thing is I wanna be making sure my legs are strong and I'm injury free. So with volume wise, I'm building pretty much doing I'm doing sets of 5, building into a weight that I feel challenged, but not impossible to do those 5 reps, where I could do beltless and it's yet still pushing me. And then I do that for 2 to 3 sets on top of that. Outside of that, I like to do a lot of unilateral movements such as goblet curtsy lunges, goblet lateral lunges, step ups, step downs on the box. And then also on top of that, doing things like I've shown in the previous videos of knees over toes, making sure my anterior tibialis is strong, making sure my soleus is strong. These muscles that when running is going to be taxed. So making sure that when I'm in the weight room, I'm training those muscle groups. And the importance, again, I've talked about this before, of doing unilateral movements when it comes to training for running is, we're not on both legs like we would be doing on the barbell squat like you just showed me. I'm doing this for maximal strength right now for what my volume is at. But when it comes to actual application to resistance training to running, we're always on just one leg at a time. So by doing single leg movements, it allows me to create that stabilization that I need while running, while also supporting the strength that I need on a single leg. So again, sports specificity is very important, or just goal specificity is super important when training. We don't want to be doing reps for the sake of doing reps, just to sweat, just to burn. Whatever your goals are, we have to make sure what you're doing is specific to get you there as efficiently as possible. But that's pretty much it for today's video. I want to keep it short and simple. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to know more about how I'm weight training for my ultramarathon prep, I will make another video breaking down specifically what I'm doing each day of the week and give you guys a kind of like a big picture for a full week of training. If you're interested in training and don't know where to start, I'm an online personal trainer. I would love to hop on the phone with you, get to know you, and figure out what your goals are and how to get there as efficiently as possible. Whether it be running your first marathon, running your first ultra marathon, whether it be resistance training, powerlifting, I'd love to help. Click the link below. Let's start a conversation. But outside of that, I hope you guys just have a great day. Don't forget to be kind, train mean, and train your legs. Take care, guys.